Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. It's time, once again, for another depressing dose of dismal Disney. The first box office numbers for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are now available. It's Thursday's numbers preceding today, which is the movie's official release date. What's interesting about these numbers is that domestically, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 earned $17.5 million last night. That's the exact same amount of money that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania earned on its pre-opening Thursday night, $17.5 million. And that film ended up with an opening weekend of $106 million domestically and ultimately flopped at the box office. As I had talked about in my most recent video about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the most recent projections for its opening weekend coming from the trades is $110 million domestically and $140 million internationally for a potential global opening weekend box office of around $250 million. Right now, based on the movie's Thursday domestic box office earnings, it may very well be in line to only earn around $110 million domestically this weekend. And as I had talked about in that same video that I referenced earlier, using the weekend-to-weekend percentage drops, weekday box office percentages, and the domestic share percentages for two previous MCU films, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I projected that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 may only earn between $522 million and $654 million globally for an average potential box office total of around $588 million. That's very significant because the production budget for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is $250 million, which if we multiply by 2.5 to estimate the movie's break-even point, we get a value of $625 million, in order to account for the 50% of gross ticket sales that movie theaters keep for themselves, as well as the additional costs of marketing the movie and other miscellaneous costs that the studio pays above and beyond the production budget. So even though overall audience scores are currently rather high for the movie on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb at 96% and 8.3 respectively, as of the time that I'm recording this video, the current score on Metacritic is considerably lower at 6.8. Right now, the current high average audience scores that the movie has are more than likely coming from hardcore MCU and Guardians of the Galaxy fans who wanted to see the movie as early as possible. But those audience scores are probably going to start dropping like they already are on Metacritic as more normies go to see the movie. In my opinion, this suggests that the $110 million domestic opening weekend box office projection may not be that far off from how this film ends up performing. But I will add that the pre-opening Thursday night international box office for the movie was rather high at around $35 million, which is double the domestic Thursday night number and gives the movie an initial domestic share of 33%. So if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 can maintain exceptionally good international box office moving forward, that will greatly increase the possibility of the movie being able to break even. However, if the domestic share gets closer to 44% and the domestic box office follows current projections, then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will probably flop. We'll know in a couple of days what the opening weekend box office for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be. And once I know what the second weekend box office percentage drops for the movie are, I can start doing projections for the movie based solely on its own box office performance. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button. And please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.